Name: Zionix. Age: I don't know. Status: widowed. Residence: Soulkeeper's Island. What is my story? Where did it all begin? My name is Zionix Glassheart, and this is all I know. I grew up with my brother Azrael. We weren't best friends as brothers, but we made do with what we had. We weren't rich. We weren't treated properly. Our parents, I don't remember them. If there even is anything to remember about them. Me and Azrael were always around each other. So as children, I suppose it blinds out the pain from me not knowing my parents. We played together. We were content with our poor and powerless existences. Or so we thought. When I was a bit older, maybe around 15, 16, a man by the name of Findale had met with my brother. He had offered him a position of the Keeper of Souls. Me and Azrael both knew that there was more to this world than the little we were supposed to know. So when he offered this, I saw it as an opportunity. I wanted the power, so I knew if I had it, I could make us happy. But Azrael was already growing power hungry. I could see it in his eyes. I asked him to allow me to take the position, but he did not want to. He wanted it. He wanted it so badly that it hurt to see him like this. I knew then I simply could not allow him to have it. If I were to, then what kind of brother would I be exactly? He would... I don't know. The man proposed that me and Azrael have a battle over it. At the time, nor me nor Azrael had any kind of power besides our own strength, that is. I accepted. I suppose it baffled my brother, but I just didn't want him to go down the wrong path. I didn't know by doing this, I was pushing him closer to it. We fought. In the end, I won. I was taken away from Azrael, and he was left alone, by himself. Years had passed, and I had not seen my brother. I was getting overwhelmed with keeping the souls of the world in order, but I had always kept an eye on my brother by far. He had married a woman named Kendall, and I knew their relationship was not perfect, but I never thought he would. He murdered her in front of his newborn daughter, leaving her crib full of the blood of a mother. I had to put a stop to this. Even if it was breaking protocol, I went to Azrael's house. He'd left the body laying in the same room with his daughter. Shadow was her name. She had cried herself to sleep that night. I took Shadow without Azrael's knowledge and left. I took her back with me to Soulkeeper Island, where the other members of the Blue Primeval Alliance met me. They were unhappy, but they understood my decision. But I was not allowed to keep her there. I was to leave my position and take my work with me. I was at a crossroads in my life. I knew I had to try to help this little girl, this innocent child that had been born in the world and surrounded by nothing but pure hate since the day of her birth. I couldn't stand it. We left. I took Shadow home with me, and we lived in it, far off the coast, somewhere where I believed Azrael would never be able to hurt her again. But I made a mistake. She was already a year old at the time, just starting to walk, and I was called to the island. I left her alone for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's all it was. And she was gone when I returned home. What I didn't know was that my brother had gotten his hands on her again, and he had tortured her. Over and over and over and over and over, and it was all my fault that it had happened. When I had finally got my hands on that little girl, she was different. He had changed her. He had hurt her. And it was all on my hands. When I found out she had killed him because of what he had done, I could not blame her for that. I took her back, and I tried to make things right. She was already so far gone. The experiments, it was all she knew. I tried medication. I tried everything I could, but nothing worked in the end. It kept her in a state where she did not know that she was even a person. It was so wrong of me. But I knew nothing else to do. She was hurting everything. Everyone. I didn't want any of this. One day, I awoke, and Shadow was gone. I knew that it was meant to be. That she was not happy there with me. It was wrong for me to do what I did to her. I stopped keeping tabs on her, and I left the Blue Primeval Alliance. I wanted to break away from everything. Entirely everything. I was already growing older, and I found myself in a place called Dornberg, where I met my soon-to-be wife. Merida was her name. We had a son. His name was Karis. They were taken from me far too soon, and I was left alone again. I had nothing. I had no one. I had no hope in living. I eventually returned to the Blue Primeval and continued my work. And I drove myself so deep into it that I never wanted to come out. One day I broke. My mentality was shattered. I didn't want anything anymore. I just wanted for everything to go away. But I suppose, in the end, that's what I got. I stayed on Soulkeeper Island for the great deal of years, on the downing of the Blue Primeval. I lost what power I did hold, and all I have is my book, the Book of Souls. What little it does for me as well, it's all I have in my life anymore. Shadow and Azrael, everyone I knew, they are gone. Or only partly what they used to be at the very least. That's all there is to me. I have nothing left to say. What about the incident We are not speaking of that. May I remind you that you took an oath? I promised to take it to my grave. I'll never get the answers to that. Can you say without a doubt that you hate your brother? Hate him? No. I pity him, and I miss him. Even after everything he has done? Yes, even after everything he has done. Are we done here? Yes, we're done. Thank you.